Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. It's not easy, so keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.
Thanks for giving me the opportunity to fight.
Appreciate you so much for everything you've done, bro. Everything you've done. I appreciate it. Because they don't know. This is a tough business that they're in, you know what I'm saying? Iron sharper iron. You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Woo! While they sleep, we work. While they sleep, we work.
You speak as though I have conquered death. I live death every day. I am surrounded by it, smothered by it. Look at you now. He would have everlasting life. You seek to defy death, yet you cannot even defy sleep. And how alike sleep is to death. It is a painted death.
My wife, she's missing. I fear terribly for her safety.
Some women are just looking for a reason to go missing.
She disappeared into the Ahedar Desert, the heart of the Whispering Waste.
As suicides go, it has an exotic appeal.
I fear she has returned to my former mansion. If you would track her, find her, bring her home.
You'd pay me in sad looks and liquor?
The mansion was never reclaimed by the tax collectors. Dark rumors swirl amid the whispering winds. Land leviathans maroon amid the dunes and cataclysms past. If my vault is untouched, its entire contents, the wealth of 5 noble generations, are yours.
You had your openers and closers reversed.
I should warn you, Sir Thief, or Nachtin the boards call it. The dead citadel. Worse still, the Whispering Wastes do not lie empty. Rumors swirl of a figure, stooped and shrouded in grey, face hidden, dragging a silver blade at his side, carving his way through the criminal element of 2 entire countries. None have divined its purpose, and it has only ever spoken one word, one most would not even recognize as a name.
I remember childhood without any friends. Just me and my imagination. So I made up my own friend. Crim's my best bud. I don't know what I'd do without him. But there's some things we should keep locked away. Not the imaginary friends, but the imaginary fiends. Crim, where are you?
Nosfero. Does this word not sound like the death bird, culling the living dead at dawn? It is the name both ghouls and demons dare not say, for they know it means death for the undead.
Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome to Afternoon White Pill. It is great to see you guys. And I just had a moment, I just had a sinking feeling, but if not a feeling of sinking, so to speak, where I went, oh my gosh, Hostman Socrates, new channel member is here. And I went, oh crap, I didn't update the credits. So I'm going to be updating the credits during this stream because I've got a great system here where if I update the file, it'll update into the show anyway. So it's cool. But thank you for becoming a channel member. Let's see all these crazy channel members and folks we've got tuning in today. First and foremost, my first channel member, always the Alpha and the Omega. We have got Stephen Rockwood in the house telling me 552 backers on Nosfero. Guys, every day is incredible. It's you know what's so funny is that we need this stuff more now than ever. And I'm not talking about Nosfero, I'm not talking about comics, although that stuff is important too. But I mean the positivity. I mean let the white pills flow. Amazing things are happening, and we're not going to get demoralized by all of the crazy crap that's out there. It doesn't mean that we're closing our eyes and plugging our ears. It means we're getting together with the people who work hard. All of the people every single day who have all of the options in front of them and they choose to do the right thing. It's a lot more people when you think about it. And Hail Odin is great to see you. I'm going to get to you in a second. Tammy A is here. Packing up, Tammy, Florida or bust. That is fantastic. Thank you for being a channel member. It is great to see you in the chat, Tammy A, and Timmy Mello. As I read and get ahead of myself, hail and I bow to channel member Timmy Mello. You are the man. Let me tell you something, man. You're always bringing the positivity, and I love it. We have got the general himself, General Piggy, in the chat. I tip my cap to you. That profile pic always makes me smile, man. I love it so much. It's great, dude. It's so great. We have got, of course, Hostman Socrates in the chat. I'm looking forward to updating that right now, man. That's the cool thing about it. I've got those credits, so everybody who's a channel member, we're going to make this stuff happen. Let's see. And yes, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969, you got to go back to work, my friend. I understand, but I thank you for your work because your work helps this world keep turning. No matter what it is you do, when you guys are contributing and you're out there, not to mention backing these campaigns, and I thank you for that, that's what makes the whole party possible. You guys know that I'm working all the time on this book, and I know you guys are working on all of this stuff, and I hope you're getting some breaks in there, man. I hope you're getting some breaks to go on vacation, to start a new chapter, to make a move, whatever it is. And I've been thinking about that. Sometimes I'm called Timmy. This is Tammy A. I love it. And it's great to see you, Odin, in the house. Where are you, Odin? I feel like I haven't seen you in ages, man. It's great to see you in here, brother. Keep doing your artwork, man. Keep rocking and rolling. That's what it is. So let me see, and there was a great thing. Oh, yes. Apathy is death. It is worse than death. At least the rotting corpse feeds the birds and insects. Yes, indeed. Kreia, Knights of the Old Republic. Gosh, those were some glorious entertainment days we had right there. You gotta love it, guys. Gotta love it. And we've got Meltdown 14. Welcome, Meltdown 14. Hello, dropping by to drop a like. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. And I got to get back to work. My friend, thank you for being here. Much appreciated, Meltdown 14. That is, it's great to see you in the chat. It's great to see you in the chat. So yeah, what I wanted to talk about today, and Jared Weaver, my God, long time no see. It is great to see you, Jared. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I'm taking you guys to school. I'm taking you to positivity school because that is how we are rolling today, man. That is how we are rolling. It is great to see you, my friend. It's great to see your smiling face up in this chat. So yeah, this week has been nuts. The last, 24 hours have been nuts and all of that kind of stuff. And I've been sitting around it and watching amazing things happen, watching really cool creators and really cool artists doing amazing stuff. But I started to think about this, and I started to think about something we talk about a lot, which is how the objective of so much of the silliness that we see in this world is to demoralize people and is to get people to stop focusing on what needs to get done in their lives and improving their individual circumstances, which is to say cleaning that room, in Tammy A's case, making that move, listening to a stream that puts good things into you versus listening to something that just sucks the life out of you. You know, that is really what it comes down to, you know? And Odin, I honestly, I just saw that comment, couldn't say it better. I consider myself fortunate to have this on while I work. Duty still calls. Amen. And perfectly said, my friend. Perfectly said. And I think, you know, when I sit down to do what I'm, you know, doing and I'm writing the last, you know, sections of Nosfero right now, I've got a page. It's so funny. If you look at the thumbnail for this stream, I blurred out a section of one of the pieces of artwork because it was the Nosfero face reveal. And I went, whoops, better fix that. But I've always got something that I could be doing when I'm working. And that's the stuff that I think about the most, you know, is how do we get up and how do we get going? And with that in mind, let me say this, is that the book Nosfero is looking fantastic. I am seeing better and better work coming out of the independent space. Eric Shalai has just launched a brand new website update that is making things more streamlined, more successful, and making it easier for him to do what he needs to do. I'm hearing more and more people investing the money in their own autonomy. And I know my brother Gabe is doing the exact same thing. And I just keep thinking that every one of those acts is an act to not get demoralized and sucked in to all of this crap that's out there. Because there's always somebody peddling that silliness. But we got to remember that. We got to remember the positive, you know, things that are out there. What the heck just happened? Sorry, I just realized something funny is going on here. Something funny. Yes, let me get this to the stream here. Work never stops, but it's good to catch these streams, even if it's talk radio to play in the background. And that's the thing I've been thinking about. You know, we talk about listening to podcasts and all sorts of stuff, you know, and how to put this, you know, stuff out there better. And I really think that for me, one of the best things that I ever found was Joe Rogan's podcast. And looking at Joe Rogan's podcast taught me a lot about, you know, wow, you can actually just put positive things out there and give people information and knowledge and talk about cool things, which we're going to be doing in a second. Believe it or not, I am updating the credits right now for the channel members as I stream, because that is how it has to be done. That is how it has to be done. And I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about how nobody really would have thought such a thing was possible back in the day, you know, that you would be able to do talk radio. I know Ethan's a massive fan of talk radio. That's an aspect of this whole, you know, party that he loves, man. And I thought, you know, but we can do all of that stuff now. Now the only issue is, what's the content? What's the stuff that we're putting out there? What's it telling people? And for me, it's always going to be about, you know, trying to put the positivity out there. Jim Cox, Jim Cox, what are you doing, brother? What are you doing, you maniac? You beautiful, lovely maniac. Jim Cox just gifted 5 Shanth Enjeti art memberships, you maniac. Mason W was gifted a membership by Jim Cox. Awesome One was gifted a membership by Jim Cox. You legend. My God, man. You are absolutely incredible, man. You are absolutely incredible. Mighty Geek Studios, I'm really going to have to start updating those credits, man. This is craziness. Thank you, sir. And let me send a cheerleader your way. I mean, it's the least I can do, Jim Cox. You legend. Charge! Boom. You legend always, dude. You guys, my cup runneth over. I'm trying to have a positive stream that seems like it comes out of nowhere, but it's so bizarre, man. You guys are amazing. Jim Cox, I love you, man. We go all the way back to the Pie Barons, man. You know, it's like, it's a lot of history. It's a lot of history. Thank you, sir. Thank you. But, you know, it's, for me, that's the big thing about what we're doing here. So I was thinking about, you know, just how much, and Mason W, it's great to see you. Green Laser, I'm going to get there in a second. Let me just save these updated credits here. Save as, and actually, do I need to add? Oh, shoot, I think I do, right? Let me just, I'm going to handle this one first, and then I'm going to do the next one. But this is the thing for me that I've been thinking about as far as all of the stuff we're doing, all of the stuff that we've been doing, which is that we're creating that parallel economy right now. We're creating that stuff that is going to be the things people talk about. I remember when, you know, comic books were, you know, during the indie boom, and when comics were seeing a lot of success. And I think about, you know, how we start these little things and then they become bigger and bigger and bigger. This is sounding a little bit foul, but I apologize. And the thing I came back to was, I was thinking about the other day how when I was a kid coming up and Todd McFarlane was launching his toy company, Todd's Toys. And it's like, it's such a fascinating thing, because now it's McFarlane Toys, and he's essentially handling the DC Comics license in the most, you know, centralized big way. There's a lot of people with that license, but it is craziness. Hail Scottsley, it is great to see you, my friend. Glad to have you in the chat. Yeah, Timmy Mello says, I would be surprised if Ethan doesn't listen to Clyde Lewis. Absolutely. Those two are cut from the same cloth, despite their different avenues of profession. Absolutely, man. If it wasn't for C.S. Lewis, I don't know where I would be, man. Green Laser was gifted a membership. Thank you for being here, Green Laser. And thank you, Jim Cox, again. Mighty Geek Studios, thank you for being here. Mason W, guys, thank you for being here again. Yeah, Awesome One, all of you wonderful people. And Jim Cox, of course. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. KSSS, thank you for being here. Happy birthday to you, my friend. It's such a coincidence, as always, that our birthdays are the same. And just to wish you a happy birthday and to thank Jim Cox again for gifting 5 memberships. Have they all been claimed? My goodness, I don't even know if they've all been claimed. Let me send a cheerleader and a happy birthday your way. Charge! You fabulous legends. So let me talk to you guys a little bit about something that's been going on this week, and something that has been really, really cool. You're very welcome, my friend. You are very welcome. So I have been, oh, excellent, and Jim Cox, the legend's like, they have been claimed. That is right. Excellent. Thank you, brother. Again, much, much love and respect, man. But the thing about it that I was thinking is so a friend of mine, Jericho Green, who I know some of you guys know, particularly you guys who watch Double Impact on my brother Gabe El Taib's channel, it's like having those two for brothers is a blast, man. We just are always trying to psych each other up and send messages. But Jericho, we were talking on the last stream about having videos like the one I just showed as a thank you for people who send super chats or become members. And Jericho was saying to me, wow, I'd love to get something like that for my channel. So as I did with Ethan, with, the Comicsgate Kings live show and all of those intros that I've done. I mean, I don't know. I think I've done most of them. But all those different intros that I've done, whether it's I Dream of Reenie or Art T. Bear with the fish or Graham Nolan with the eagle or Shane Let Your Tiger Out, all of those things that I've done, I said, Jericho, do you need it? Holler at me. And he's like, dude, I'd love it if he could do something. So I made him a super chat video. And these are the little things that we do. These are the opportunities we have. And Jim Cox just buried me with the gifting 5 memberships, which is, let's move this stuff towards positivity. Let's help people who are doing things, because we got professionalism down. We have, I feel like I'm going to quote my favorite Ghostbuster, Winston Zeddemore, who said, we had the tools and we had the talent, and we do. We have got great people here. And so one of the things that I think I've been focused on this week is, if I don't spend a lot of time just focusing on our space, like what's going on in Comicsgate, or even what's going on in the Iron Age and things like that, I try to look at channels that are doing it really, really well and think, how can I make my channel better? And then how could I also, with my friends, with the people that I hang with, if there's something I can do to help them with their channel, make it happen. And those things take the form of t-shirt designs. If you go to the Jericho Greens store, I forget what it's called. Tammy A probably knows the link, but I actually don't know the link. It's like Green Gear, or Get Your Green Gear. I forget exactly what it's called, but he's got a link on his channel to it. Then you guys will see, some of the designs that I've done, or one of the designs I've done, which is the Booyah Base design, which is this kind of gold thing. And it's just too fun, man. It's too fun to do that kind of stuff. But I think we can take them head to head on quality, no doubt, because all of the skilled people, guys, all of the skilled people are getting out and away from the political crap. And that's all it is. That's all we're trying to do here at the end of the day, is we're trying to get away from that stuff. So when I do things like, again, with channel memberships, and all you crazy new members, I'm going to have you guys in the credits for next week. But all of you you guys who become channel members, for me, it's like getting your names in the credits and taking the time to do that. It's making the thumbnails. And I started thinking, man, like, I've got to paint, but I can't show the stuff that I'm painting. And I thought, well, what can I do? What can I do to help? And I thought, I can get people's energy up. I can show them, stuff that's positive. I can get us excited about things. And, oh gosh, what can I show you guys? I want to show you guys. Can I show you guys? Yeah, I'll show you a little bit. Well, is that a spoiler? See, it's all spoilers now. Damn it. It's all spoilers now. This is a disaster. But one of the things I was thinking about this week is, there's this artist that I'm a huge fan of, and his name is Maxfield Parrish. He long dead. But I love Maxfield Parrish's work. I've been a fan of his work forever. And he did this. Actually, I can show you this. He did these incredible paintings for a book version of The Knave of Hearts. And for as long as I can remember, I've loved the fact that he did hand lettering, and he painted lettering in. And so the end of the book, the last page of this book, I don't know if you guys can see this, it has painted into the painting, like actually painted on the painting and that he did, the words "the end." And so I decided that on the last page of Nosfero, what I was going to do was I was going to take the what he did, and I'm going to paint "the end" into the stone. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely, you're so right, KSSS. My favorite Ghostbuster was the gorilla. Oh yeah, back in the day, yes, the original Ghostbuster copyright. Not okay, he's not. I just like to remind people that there was a thing, and that cartoon messed with so many kids. Yes, it did, man. Yes, it did. Well, it's so funny because he had that, and he goes, Ray, when someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes, which my friends and I quoted constantly. We quoted that shit constantly. So let me see here. Let me get to, let's do this. I'm going to have to do some digital stuff on a stream one time and show you guys. And which reminds me, I wanted to, at some point, one of the things I've been thinking about doing, and this is going to be for channel members, it's certainly at least initially, but channel members, I put a new post up today. So if you're a new channel member, do check out the sketch and the to panel finish on a new post. But the other thing I was going to say is I want to do a video at some point just to kind of help people get, you know, fired up and kind of understand what we're doing and what game we're in, which is I want to do a stream where I show all of the videos and things that I've made for CG, for other channels, and just show you guys how much of that stuff, you know, I've spent time doing, because it's stuff that we can all do. It's things that we can get done. You know, it's just finding, you know, whatever you can do. And in some people's cases, it's like gifting 5 memberships. It's, you know, setting up raids on their channel. All things I'm trying to learn how to do, to be honest with you. And that's the stuff that kind of moves the needle. You know, that's the stuff that moves things forward. And so I'm going to try to do as much of that as I can whenever I'm not working on Nosfero. And the cool thing about it is that as Nosfero 1 wraps up... Oh, I just remembered something. So I might do a cheat and show you guys... Yeah, okay. Yeah, I might be showing you guys some cool stuff today. So don't tell anybody, because it's just supposed to be, you know, an afternoon psych up stream. But yeah, stuff might be happening. Stuff might be happening a little bit here. So let me get some things set up. And let me see how I can do this without it spoiling anything. Hold on a second here. Ew. Move that over there. I think you guys can. You guys might still be able to see it. So shit. Everything is spoilers now. Ah. Everything is spoilers. All right. So I'm doing my best to cover as much up as I can. So there you go, guys. So there you go. So I want to show you guys some cool stuff that I've been working on. So as I get to the tail end of Nosfero, and tail end both literally in terms of what I end up painting, and figuratively in terms of, you know, yeah, it's not really a tale, is that gotta be rah-rah, rabble-rouser of Comicsgate, get them creative juices pumping and make them books. You're absolutely right. Last words on my page will be fiend, because I think it might mess with Finatra's head. Finatra will love that. Are you kidding? Yeah, exactly, man. And it's like, so here's the thing I've been thinking about. Spoiler, Butler did it. Sorry, Shanth. Someone was bound to spoil it. Yeah, absolutely. Spoiler alert, it's a reasonably positive ending, too, which is something that people, sometimes they can't believe or they can't imagine. So let me, and I know you guys can, right? Like, that's not difficult for us, but sometimes people are shocked. So you guys know Nosfero, and you know the stuff I've been working on. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that, and I'm going to show you some stuff that'll hopefully get your creative juices flowing, and point to something that is about why we're being positive today, or why we're trying to be positive every day. Again, it's not about having your blinders on, but it's definitely not about being, you know, chicken boo and all that other crap that people get sucked into. So let me go to Razor Kaio 2. There you go, guys. There you go. And then I can move this a little bit closer. And I need to adjust a couple of things. Hold on a second here. Window, camera effects. Gotta love it. And let's see if I'm on the right. Yeah, I'm on the right one. It's just the gamma. Nope. There it is. Let's adjust the brightness. I think it's because, there we go. I think it's just because of where the light was located. So let me adjust the gamma back down here. So this right here is a look at one of the things, or many of the aspects that are going to be happening in Nosfero 2, guys. So this is the stuff that it's about for me. So I've been creating, and one of the things I've been working on for book 2, and one of the story ideas for book 2, which involves both this character that's a little bit of, you know, Bernie Wrightson Swamp Thing influence, and also everything I love about Halloween, the Headless Woodsman, and now Holly Gellhorn, and that last name is a nod to something that you guys might not know, but it's maybe it's a deep cut, it's a reference in that sort of sense. But that's the thing for me that it's about. Like, that's what I'm trying to do with this work. But what I've been working on is I wanted to do a story that deals with this whole idea of man versus nature and nature versus man and that whole kind of thing. But I wanted to flip it on its head because I think that stuff is absolutely ridiculous. And so what I'm doing with this story is something new. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a while. I get so sick of seeing people talk about loving the environment and loving the animals of this world, and at the same time not extending that love for one of nature's most incredible and miraculous, living creatures out there, which is the human being, and the love of people. People see those things as mutually exclusive. And I think the idea that so many kids and young people and adults at this point have been raised with is the idea that loving nature necessitates that you not like people, that you not like human life and human existence. I remember my kids coming home from school when they were talking about the environment, and I said, "What did you learn today?" And they said, "I think we learned today that it would just be better off if human beings just died off." And I went, like, that's a terrible thing to be learning from all this. But then I remembered that that is pretty much what I was taught when I was coming up. And I started thinking about the fact that when I watch channels like Townsend's, when I watch people who actually work with the land, people who actually have some experience with nature or homesteading, you know full well that the human interaction with nature is one that's one of reciprocity. And it doesn't mean you never cut down a tree. It just means if you cut down all of your trees, you're going to be SOL. But the whole point of it is to try to make the most successful human experience that you can have, because you only got one shot at this. And so what I started to think about was, what if I wrote a story that instead of where it's all about nature and man not understanding nature and the trees are the all of that kind of stuff, what would happen if I wrote a story about life and about the horror, right? Because this is Nosfero, but the horrifying elements, but did not paint nature as this thing that is 100% benevolent, and instead sort of take head on that sort of perverse anti-human logic that people try to push in the name of environment, but they don't really seem to care about the environment as much as they hate people. And I don't. And that's the thing I started thinking about, is how can we as artists, as creators, actually try to tell a different story? Because that story's been going on forever. It's the weirdest thing. It's odd to me that people who think humans are a cancer on this planet never make themselves weird. Well, sometimes they do, and sometimes other people, right? And that's the thing, though. But even if they don't, how many times, guys, my wife was talking to me about this the other day, do you go out with a group of people and you have people basically saying, while they do things that seem to hint that they think that this whole life matters, talking about how everything's pointless and what's the point? Never going to be a part of that whole crew. And you're absolutely right. It's a bizarre thing. Yeah, to hate humanity is to hate yourself. 100%. 100%. Yeah. A lot of those people presented a deep-seated sense of self-resentment as well as emptiness for themselves. People have to learn to love and forgive themselves. Thank you very much. So let's get to that, because this is really important. So there's a religion in India called Jainism. And the more, extreme devotees of this practice a type of thing where it is like, again, you do not like yourself. You can't eat any food that's not dead. You can't step on insects. But it really is an attempt to control yourself to the point to where you're not experiencing life. And in fact, it can make you incredibly sick. Like a lot of health trends or dietary controls that aren't about making you a healthier person. They're about you basically trying to pay penance for the sin of your existence, right? And instead of doing good in the world and helping other people, you project outward your sense of and your low estimation of human beings. Well, let me tell you guys something on this fine Tuesday afternoon. I have seen in my lifetime my share of insanity, but I have also seen examples of human kindness, excellence, and good that shake me to my core, that amaze me, that inspire me. And I find myself thinking, what happens in a world where not only are you not presented with those things, but nobody grabs you by the chin and forces you to look at them? Well, you get nihilistic people, you get sad people, you get depressed people, and it's poison. It's so bad for you. And if you love animals, love yourself, right? So there was this study that came out recently, and I'm going to get to this from our new channel member, Hostman Socrates. Environmentalism is an inherently anti-human ideology, and it is an ideology, you're right. It pretends that all nature is beautiful, pure, and idyllic, and that all of humanity is brutal and uncaring. Exactly. Like, they don't think about things like worms that nest in human beings' eyes and cause blindness, or spores that, drive ants, to, climb up to branches and then have this thing sprout from their head. You can't eat any food that's not dead. I only eat dead food. That's right. Yeah. Well, I don't mean dead, because this is the crazy thing. So when you eat a steak, right, it's frozen, it's preserved, so there's still living tissue there. I'm talking about eating rotting vegetables or rotten vegetables. It's unbelievable. Food evening. I actually like that better. Skunk Artworks, I bow to you. Amazing work, my friend. But I absolutely love that. Food evening just made me laugh, dude. I love it. Hail, Skunk Artworks. I love cow. They're delicious. Indeed. Yes, indeed. Yep. Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. Viruses, all of this stuff. Cancer comes from nature. It all is there. But is that what we're about? No, that is not what we're about. That's not what we're about. So there was this thing I heard Jordan Peterson say that shook me to my core, guys. I couldn't believe it was real, but it was amazing. He said Jordan Peterson was talking about how most people who get transplants, they're not a success, not because the people it doesn't take or whatever. It's because the people will not take their anti-rejection medication for it. Like, they won't take the medication you have to take to make sure your body doesn't reject it. Ponder that for a minute. But then he said that that's true across the board, that most people will not take an Advil. Most people will not, take any kind of medication to help themselves that they've been prescribed, right? Because they just seem to not value themselves that much, which is crazy. But here's where it gets funny. These same people, if you give them a prescription for their dog, for their pet, they will never miss a dose. Now, anyone in the chat, let me know. Hit me with a 1. Hit me with a 1 if you've ever had that happen, where you've remembered to give a pet that depends on your safety, or a child that depends on your safety, made sure you got their needs taken care of, while absolutely neglecting your own and not making sure you're the healthiest you can be for them. Think about the insanity of that, man. I think about that all the time, right? Also with faith, it's also said you cannot love God if you cannot love your neighbors, and if you can't love your neighbors, you cannot love yourself. To love and forgive is to know God. You're absolutely right. Yes, Shanth Enjeti, that shocked me when he said it. It absolutely shocked me. The most profound axiomatic statement is God is love, absolutely. And so when I came into the CG space, one of the things that really got me, and that I still think about, was the artist and creator of Snowman, the book Snowman: A Cold Day in Hell. I cannot wait to get that book. I am absolutely looking forward to it. I was on Twitter and I saw his work and I was like, wow, we're cut from a similar cloth. This is kind of incredible, and like his taste and the things that he was doing. And the thing that got me about it was he posted a Bible quote that I had not heard before. And I was like, what is that? I've never heard that quote before. And I forget I gotta see what the quote is. I wish I knew where I had it. Oh, here it is. Yes, it's 1 John 1, 5 through 10. This is the message we have heard from him and declare to you. God is light. In him there is no darkness at all. If we claim to have fellowship with him and yet walk in the darkness, think about that. If you claim to have fellowship with God, according to this scripture, it says, and yet walk in the darkness, we lie and do not live out the truth. But if we walk in the light as he is the light, we have fellowship with one another. And the blood of Jesus, his son, purifies us from all sin. And this is the kicker. This is the thing that did my head in. If we claim to be without sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us. If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just and will forgive us our sins and purify us from all unrighteousness. If we claim we have not sinned, we make him to be a liar, and his word is not in us. But here's the part that got me about this. Hail, Phil, it is great to see you, my friend. Here's the part that got me about this. That if you are going to do those things, if you are going to say, I am flawed, I am faulted, blah, blah, you have an obligation to walk in the light and not walk in the darkness. You have a responsibility to take the white pill. How's that for a message? How is that for a message? And to me, that is the thing that I think about the most, which is I can't have it both ways. Me being nihilistic and hopeless and sad and feeling like, well, I'm flawed, therefore I'm not this. No, the very act and acknowledgement and awareness that you are flawed means you are required to walk in the light. You are required to be positive. I love this stuff. I love this stuff. Yeah, that's what it's about, guys. That is absolutely what it's about. And yeah, the black pill is the psalm of destruction. You're absolutely right. And so when I'm sitting here and I'm trying to think about, okay, well, what is it? What is Nosfero about? Why should I take this chance to make this comic book? I mean, the sketch I posted of what the world looks like for channel members in the channel members community post today, one of those was a sketch I did not even halfway in to Nosfero. And then here I was, it's only going to occupy, you're not going to see all of it yet, but it's only going to occupy a tiny sliver of a panel, and the character is probably as big as my thumbnail. And I thought, this is what's possible. You guys crack me up. I thought, this is what's possible. From dream to reality, that's how this stuff goes. You know? Absolutely. Someone finally speaks of the pill of cleansing. It's absolutely right, man. That's right. Phil is taking the pill of cleansing, I guess. It's not really even the pill, it's the fill of cleansing. But this is the thing, guys. It's not to be, how do I word this? It's not to be heavy during a stream. It's actually about light. It's actually about feeling a lightness and having an inspiration. So when I sit here and I work Hail Waffle Pills, you're absolutely right. I think that's what I should start calling it, actually. But then no one's going to know what we're talking about in here. Which might be good, might be bad. But hail Ellie Munoz, channel member, rockstar, legend. It is great to see you, my friend. So when I started to create this story, which is very inspired by The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, one of my favorite stories of all time, I listen to it as I fall asleep almost every night. It's funny how little the Headless Horseman is in that story and what it's actually about, right? And this is, yeah. Nosfero belongs in a museum. When I finish reading it, I will slab it and bury myself with it. Oh my gosh, man. I cannot wait. Like, because I look at these other books I have here. Make sure I don't reveal anything dumb. But I look at my first two art books, right? And I look at these. And it's like, that's the stuff I think about. Like, these 8.5 by 11, which is what it's going to be. Square-bound, glossy-covered books that I take out and I thumb through all the time. And they just put a big smile on my face because I've been building these things now year over year. The hardest thing I've ever done is Nosfero. No, comics, you guys know this, are so much more complicated. But I started thinking about nature and beauty and, you know, the newborn babies that we have in our family. Like, for example, my brother Gabe's granddaughter, who is just an adorable vision of beauty. But all of that, you guys know, when you see new life, whether it's you know, a newborn puppy or a newborn kitten or a newborn bunny or a newborn horse or whatever it is, when you see these things, when you plant a tree in the ground, it is a beautiful thing. And so the idea of juxtaposing within this narrative, what I've got here, which is Holly Gellhorn, which is the last name of a character from a movie that is, I'll give you a hint, is Hammer related. That's why it's so random. But the main thing is her name is Holly. But when I started to work on her, she, as a character who is pregnant in this story, she is this vision of femininity and feminine beauty and motherhood and all of these things. And it tied so well into this story I was doing. And it's going to be like with a lot of these stories, it's going to be about nuance. If the first Nosfero book is about anything, it's about the fact that the things, like I was just painting the last page. It's, yeah, I have to put that on screen. Yeah, man. Best monsters are created by their absence, not their presence. The Headless Horseman, yes, is a prime example of that. Absolutely. She's Irish. Her name is Holly. Oh, shoot, I'm stealing that. Oh my God, that is genius. That is genius, Stephen Rockwood. If I can figure out a way to make something like that work, I'm stealing it, man. That is beautiful. That is beautiful, Stephen Rockwood. But, and it's funny, you're kind of right in a strange way because definitely the Holly O thing has to be there because Holly was from Hollow, Sleepy Hollow. So that is kind of the interesting aspect of that. So wow, we're synced in that weird sort of way. That's kind of crazy. But then we're kindred spirits. What can I say, man? I'm fortunate. I have a lot of kindred spirits hanging out with me, man. And so I've been working on, sketches of this character and trying to figure out what this character is going to be and what they're going to be about. And that's the fun thing that we're doing here. That's why I'm so fired up, because I have not been able to. I'm just basically a render farm right now when it comes to paint. I'm just painting in details, and I'm just making things more and more refined and going through all of the pages. But the pages are painted. You know what I mean? It's like I want to add some bricks texture in here. I want to add a flourish over here. Little things like that make the stuff rich is the same thing I do with all my art books. That's my process. It's just with comics, it's a lot more complicated. And what you have to do, in a sense, is you have to illustrate the book until if the storytelling is done. Then you get to turn off the heavy lifting part of your brain for a bit while you make your artwork. And you get to just render and detail things. And that is what it is. Yes, indeed. That seriously was great, Stephen Rockwood. Yeah. And so when I'm sitting here and I'm trying to come up with, well, what is this beautiful, world going to be? I'm painting beautiful women, amazing heroes, creepy monsters, all of this different kind of stuff. I mean, the second to last page and the last page are essentially just the female figure in all of its glory, which is Laurel. And so I started thinking about, what could I do? Oh, it's great that you should say this, right? And I think you know, but I don't know if you know for sure. The great, as Eric July always calls him, Eric Weathers, is who I'm hiring because we hit that stretch goal to do the lettering for this book. And I could not be happier. It is such an honor. He's a brother. Love that guy. Again, I know I said this last year. I don't want to turn this into, like, every time I do this, I talk about Eric lovingly, but I don't care. I will. Eric is one of the most, you can just tell when you hang out with him, he's the kind of friend who's got your back, man. Like, he is. And I think people don't recognize, like, that for folks like that, the flip side of that is, sometimes folks like that, they're so supportive, they give things out to people, and they forget, much like what we were talking before, to take care of themselves and make sure they have some fun too. Because he's that kind of dude. He's the kind of man, he's a mensch. He's the kind of man you want to have hanging out with you who's got your back. And every now and again you want to say, like, hey man, I got your back. Like, there's this thing, right? Yeah, Eric Weathers, never heard of him. You're absolutely right. Eric the Great, indeed. And let me say this too. There's this thing, it's still in my head. This is how much I'm a fan of Eric Weathers. Eric has talked about this dream he has. I hope he won't mind me sharing this, but I think I've mentioned it back when we were doing the CG team. That he has a dream of getting and purchasing the quarter scale NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie version of the Turtles. So his dream is he wants to have all 4 of those. And he works like a maniac all the time. But he's like, I can't afford that. I can't spend my money on that or whatever. And I was like going, man, if I ever made $1 million, one of the first things I'd want to do would be to get Eric Weathers those 4, quarter scale Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie figures. Like, if I had $1 million, I was like, that's what I would totally do for him, because I know he would love them so much. He could have them. He's a huge Ninja Turtles fan, just like me. I've got the Ninja Turtles Artist Edition right over there if Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird's work. But man, you got to do it, man. It is a good dream. Yeah. I had a dream of buying a Ninja Turtles puppet. I love it, man. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Those are the things that are excited. And when you've got people around you, I've got folks in the Comicsgate space and in the Iron Age space who are, we're those of us who are like in the creative area of this in terms of the making books and making websites and selling t-shirts. It's almost like we've got the brothers and we've got the people around us that we've always needed. And that is to say that we've got people around us who are like going, oh yeah, so are you trying to figure out how to do this? I can help you with this. Are you trying to figure out how to do this? I can help you with this. And that's what I'd say to everybody is that those people are oftentimes a hello away, which is it's somebody somebody who's around you, somebody who can bring something to the game that you haven't brought to the game yet. Like I think about this. Matt Martin was doing basically a sort of, balls to the walls, horror adventure comic book in Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell, which again, I cannot wait for that book. And that book is, the thing that's interesting to me about that book is because of him and his artwork, I decided to follow him on Twitter. Because I followed him on Twitter, I saw that quote from John 1. And when I saw that quote, I went, wow, and it inspired me. And it's almost like this thing that Joseph Campbell talked about, which is when you, quote, follow your bliss, as he said, but when you put yourself in the right space, you start to get that feeling many of you guys have probably had before, which is you feel like you're being helped by hidden hands. And I did a cut of the Snowman, A Cold Day in Hell trailer after it first came out, where I put the one of my favorite songs from childhood, Medicine Man by Alda Nova, I think it was. You know, it's like, I am the medicine man, blah, blah, because I loved the art. It made me think of it, you know. Oh, cool. Oh, shoot, I just missed it. Actually, just pre-ordered Daredevil by Chip Zdarsky, number 10, with a cover by Kevin Eastman. Now, how is that for a white pill and things going full circle? I love hearing that, because, I mean, that was his inspiration. The opening to the first issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had a turtle holding a sign that said, you know, for Jack Kirby and Frank Miller, or thank you, Jack Kirby and Frank Miller. It was beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful, you know? And that's the thing I think about. Yeah, hurrah for Snowman indeed. There isn't enough sexy American Indian girls represented these days. You're absolutely right. And there is no shortage, by the way. One of the most beautiful actresses currently, as far as I'm concerned, on television, is the actress from Yellowstone. And I can't remember either her husband or her name for some reason. I'm blanking. And if I could remember her husband's name, it would help me to remember her character's name. Monica, and what is his name? Shoot. Anyway, Monica from Yellowstone, the actress who plays Monica. She's amazing. Did you talk about the Iron Age magazine already? I did not. What the heck are you talking about, Phil? Fill me in, my friend. Yeah, getting some YouTube notifications that July hired a really big name for the Rippaverse does not shock me at all. He is on it. Yes, for Kirby and Miller. Thank you so much. Yes, that's what it was. Yeah, I love Frank Miller. He brought back Ronin. He's bringing back Sin City. Yeah, Ronin was the comic book that we were incredibly obsessed with when I was in high school. A friend of mine, funny enough, his name was Reed, had that comic, shared it with me. And then, of course, I was like, oh my gosh, this is what, you know, Rob Liefeld is lifting for the Shatterstar sword through the body thing in God, I think it was that New Mutants 100, or was that X-Force? No, it must have been like, it wasn't X-Force 1. I think it was New Mutants 100 or 99 or something. E. Smith, how are you doing? Let me see. I think Monica's actress plays a Native American, but is of East Asian descent. Is that true? Holy cow. I did not know that. But yeah, she's an incredible actress. She's an incredible. You'll be hype? I will be. I bet I will be. Elektra is actually Sans Serif from The Spirit. Oh, very cool. Wow. Jeez. Oh, I DM'd you. Pull it up. I can't do it on Ecamm, unfortunately. But I've got to check it. I'll have to check it out. I can't share it though, unfortunately, because I've got this whole thing figured out. I mean, I might be able to. I'll have to see. Yeah, I'll have to see. Yeah, I mean, E. Smith, and thank you for that, but she is a absolutely beautiful actress. Let me just say this. And she's, like, everybody on that show brings their A game. I don't think I've seen a false note on Yellowstone. And when it comes to writing influences, I think Taylor Sheridan is one of the people whose writing speaks to what I'm passionate about, which is the world of Yellowstone, and the world that he writes is not a world that is just overly hokey and optimistic. Oh, yes, her name is... Oh, wow, now what is that? I don't even know what that tells me. Her name is Kelsey... is it Asbilly? I don't know how I pronounce that, but my goodness. But yeah, beautiful name, beautiful actress. Yeah. Let me see here. Okay, cool. Oh, RAZÖRFIST is previewing his comic in this new heavy metal style Iron Age magazine called Anvil on Indiegogo. No! That is awesome! Yeah, hail my brother RAZÖRFIST, man. That's great to hear. Shanth Enjeti art. I think Yellowstone jumped the shark after Beth survived an explosion to the face. Yeah, very possible. Very possible. I love the sort of, yes, indeed, hot damn, I know, it's gonna be great, man. Yeah, RAZÖRFIST is in it now. He's in it to win it, and I really hope that, he just, I just hope he turns up the dial and rips the knob off on the stuff he's doing, man, because I think that, I think an anthology magazine like that, that's just balls to the walls, could work. And I've been thinking about that a lot. And if anybody can get their audience to, to make it a success, I think it's RAZÖRFIST. I look forward to backing that, man. That is crazy. Anvil, I am dying to see that. That is brilliant, guys. How exciting is that? It's like, I'm like, oh, that is so cool. Hold on a second. I gotta find that. Let's see here. Phil sent me a link, so let me see if I wish I knew how to pull these things up. Yes, Anvil Iron Age magazine. I am so glad he is claiming that. Oh my gosh, 250% of their funding goal. This is awesome. Yeah, this is gonna be some cool stuff. Holy cow, guys. Yeah, can somebody we're gonna have to drop the link for that in the chat. Phil, you're a wrench. I don't know if you're at work and you can do it, but actually no, I can do it. Let me see if I can do this here. Edit, copy. Let's see. Got it old as dirt, as Bob Ross would say. Okay. Boom. Tell me if that shows up, guys. Guys, there is a project for you to back, man. I'm gonna be putting a trailer up for that on my show for sure. Did you guys also see Vaughn's new Monster MD animation trailer? Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to get those books. I have not. How much good stuff is happening? We're talking about White Pill afternoon, The afternoon White Pill is going to be a regular thing for me. I'm going to try to do it as often as I can because it's the least organized show in the best sense, and I can just go through and do things. Yes, you ever see that Eisner Miller book? Good stuff. Yep. Wait, shoot, darn it, it just jumped. Yes. And I cannot wait. I ordered, when I did a piece of artwork for a book that I don't think I can talk about yet, that is of one of Vaughn's characters, he sent me for reference a PDF, the PDF of that book, of Monster MD, and I love it. And I was so excited by it that I bought the add-on. So I actually got the add-on of Monster MD I think it's a hardcover or hard copy, and The Terror in the Trenches. So I can't wait to get both of those. It's going to be great. Got it. There you go, Mighty Geek Studios, making it happen. Oh, it's already funding. I can't believe I didn't know that, man. It's craziness. Yes. Yeah. Oh, by the way, just one backer till we break 27K on the Lost Pages 3. Congratulations, Phil. Let's make that happen. Speaking of Taylor Sheridan, have you seen Tulsa Kings with Sylvester Stallone? It's his best show. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm saving, that to watch when I have some focus. I've been so centered on Nosfero, and now, of course, I'm unbelievably excited about the stuff that RAZÖRFIST is doing. But I've just basically been, eating, sleeping, breathing Iron Age, Comicsgate, in terms of what we're doing in this space. And the Rippaverse, I guess, which is almost its own thing. Although I like to think of it all as kind of umbrella of Iron Age. But I've been so excited when I hear Rippa talk about, I'm making my site better. I'm making my website better so I can serve my audience better. All of that stuff is just great, man. And I will tell you this, Phil. Phil, I'll tell you this. Here we go. We're going to have, it's like a quiet time with Phil. Let me lean into this a little bit, man. The kinds of stories you're tackling, or that you seem to be tackling with the Lost Pages 3, that it's great. It's great, the themes that you're dealing with in that book, and that I know, because I feel like I know you, that you're going to be bringing some optimism, some redemption, and some hope into that particular corner of crime and difficulty and overcoming difficult experiences. And I was thinking about that, and that's another reason why I'm white-pilled. That's another reason why I'm optimistic and I'm feeling positive, because all of that stuff is so important. Yeah. The little Ripper! That's right. That's totally true. Yeah, Lost Pages looks great. It absolutely does. I'm a big fan of Lost Pages. That's why I play that trailer band every show. Yeah. Uh-oh. Shanth, put on the big boy pants. Yeah, the big boy pants have a drawstring at this point because really it's gotten to be too big boy. That's the way it is, man. That's the way it is, you know? But we've got to start making this stuff happen. Yes, long live the Iron Age. I've watched the Mobius documentary on the birth of heavy metal magazine, and people, it all seems like an institution once the institution is built. But it starts with a bunch of bricklayers. That's how it is. And you've got all of the amazing artists who came together to make heavy metal. And it was just an idea. It was born out of an idea they had. You know, they decided to stop what they were doing and start doing something new. And Nosfero, to me, this is one of the most difficult points. It's the end of the most difficult point in some respects. Which is, I remember when I got the last page painted. It wasn't fully rendered out, but it was painted. You knew what everything was on Nosfero. And I remember thinking to myself, as I was looking at it, I went, it's kind of how I think. If I got hit by a bus tomorrow, there would be, at the very least, the visuals of the book together and an understanding of the story. Because it is a lot of work. And as you guys know, it is a lot of hours and hours and hours. And you are just like, the hardest thing is getting over that point. Then you get to things like ordering the books. Then you get to things like, shipping and fulfillment and getting the story, tightening up the script, getting that thing ready to rock and roll, then getting it to the great Eric Weathers. Then it comes together. And by the way, hail, Simply Green. It is great to see you. Yeah, oh, nice. CG King's Heavy Metal when? You know, I don't know if they might. You know what I mean? At some point. They might. I know that John Malin, love you, Coach, wherever you are. I know that John Malin, when... actually, I haven't seen John Malin in my streams in a while. I was on his stream like the other day, but it's just like, he is a mod. So whatever links he needs to drop, he's always welcome, and you guys can drop them for him. But John Malin floated out this interesting idea of just, if we're going to talk about new pit, which I don't want to get into things that Phil's involved with. Phil's got a better handle on this. He goes, wouldn't it be cool if, there was a pit short story done by Dale, and then other people did pit stories? And I remember thinking, just now that we mentioned this, I would love to see a heavy metal like magazine. Hell, I'd like RAZÖRFIST to reach out to Dale Keown, for God's sake, or somebody and say, hey, do you want to do a short story for this book? But I think that could be a really cool way to do it, because I remember when Darker Image came out, and for all the grief that Jim Lee got for, quote unquote, swiping from Frank Miller, which I thought was whatever. I thought it could be really, really cool. Yeah, I actually liked that stuff. I thought it was a fun book. Give people a couple of pages. I guess that's what Cool Story Bro is, that Ethan is doing. But yeah, we've definitely got some, let me just move this camera over a little bit. We've definitely got some anthology stuff, Yeah, oh my God, yeah, that would be so cool to see. No, everyone needs to let Dale do pit. I agree, Phil. That was a fun stream, man. That was a fun stream. Yeah, the revival of horror started in Archie Comics in the thousands and continues in the Iron Age. Yeah, guys, yeah, I'll cut a foo. That's right. When Phil says it, he means it. By the way, when Phil says that, he means it. And let me tell you guys something. That's the Chicago way. There you go. A little bit of Sean Connery in the church there. Narwhal's Compendium just opened it yesterday. Very cool. Let me see here. Zay Comics. I'm really looking forward to it. Indeed, indeed. Amanda B., you legend. I bow to you. It's great to see you. Laugh out loud, Phil, with 2 L's for a double dose of his pimping. Hey, Amanda says, Phil. Let me see what else we got here. Yes, I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, guys, I mean, Pit only, indeed. Yeah, remastering the Pit trade paperback is what I'm desperate for, man. Yeah, I'm desperate for that Pit trade paperback. Soft cover, but chonk, it's thick. Indeed. Indeed. Yeah, I mean, I love paper stock. I love Lamp. But I love paper stock. I love, when I was doing these books, it was, to me, it's like, and you guys know the sound. See, the speaker picks it up, but it's the sound of, like, thick book pages on nice paper stock being flipped through. that I love so much, and that is the plan for this book. Like, this book is we're going to figure out how to do it because of, interesting thing about the supply chain during during this whole time of the book. But what are you going to do? Yeah, Amanda B. Hail, child of the chosen Bogan. Absolutely. That is right. That is right. I backed Cerebus and Cave Slave from Narwhal on Sunday. There you go. Yeah, you got to love it. I'm excited about Cave Slave, actually. I can't believe he hasn't reached out to me yet about like doing a pinup or something. Come on now. Let me see here. Yes, one backer till 27K on Lost Pages, guys. Check it out. For real, if Dale does a Pit Omnibus in oversized format, it will sell a ton of copies. I believe, Stephen Rockwood, that there is not a single soul on this planet who understands that in more depth than Phil Diaz. He just told you. Yes. Have no fear, Shanth. The Vice is here. Hail, Sonny Crockett, you legend. It's great to see you in the chat. That always makes me smile, man. It's all about Reeboks and no socks, folks. Never forget it. Get it done. Get it done. That is how we roll. Yeah. Let's go, Brandon. Amen. Yeah. We working on it, Stephen Rockwood. Absolutely. There you go. Straight from the horse's mouth. There you go. Let's see here. Yes. The Chicago Code states that you do things your way and take no gruff from anyone who disagrees with you. Indeed. Yes, indeed. Hail, Sonny Crockett. So, yeah. So, for me, like, this is so funny. I fired up this stream because I think we need a place to come and share good news and to share the positivity because, again, why let them win? Why let the propaganda, as RAZÖRFIST always says, the goal is not to change your mind, the goal is to demoralize you. Why let that stuff affect you when we can come in here and thumb our nose at it? Because I'm no longer interested, I'm not interested in the people who have given up, who are black-pilled, but I'm interested in the people who are in the middle and haven't made up their minds yet. The people who are still have a little optimism in them, but it's being eaten away at by all this negativity. I can't concern myself with the other people. They should not be taking up 90% of my time and my thought process. My time are for the people who are actually ride or die supporting what I'm doing, who are supporting independent media, and more importantly than anything, if they don't even know who we are, who are bringing in some other sphere of creativity, some positivity into this world. They don't have to be Iron Age. They don't have to be CG. They can be people like the Townsends who are just doing their own thing on their channel, right? There's so many people who are doing great things out there in the world, and that's the stuff I want to shine a light on. And I want to let people know there are more good people out there. There always have been. The world would fall off a cliff if there weren't. But there are more people out there who believe in doing the right thing and having this whole crazy experiment of the human species continue because it's worth doing. My one question I would always ask my students was this. When you wake up in the morning, you better damn well have the answer that when it comes to this whole human being thing that you're a part of, with all of its ups and downs and with all of its complexities, are you in or are you out? And I'm in. Do you get what I mean? I'm in on this whole human being thing. In for a penny, in for a pound. And that means that you don't let one stupid thing or one act of cruelty or one act of stupidity define the entire thing. You look towards the light and you define excellence and you do your part and you pull your weight. And that's what it's about. Hail, Cranberry Langers. It is great to see you, my friend. Yeah, we don't have to pick winners and losers. It'll happen naturally over time. You're absolutely right. Yes. There was once a new building, but for the first year they didn't lay paths. And the end of the year, they looked to see where people trod the dirt paths and laid the concrete there. Brilliant. Brilliantly said. Fans have been begging Dale to bring back Pitt for 2 decades. And that shows you something. When we talk about it, hail to you, Cranberry Langers. When we talk about this stuff, right, and we talk about how long things take. I was just talking about Snowman, right? Snowman of Cold Dan Hill. Now, I know that book is going to get done. Because it's all Caps Comics. It's Ethan. And he is going to get that thing done. And I'm so glad that he's backed his friend Matt Martin. And that he is trying to do stuff to lift him up. And I backed that book to send a message to Matt Martin about his work. And to send a message of support. And I know how difficult it can be to create something. Especially for certain, the sensitive artists amongst us. Who in some cases do incredible work. I think of Dale Keown as being that kind of, that sort of soulful artist that will do his best work, will deliver his best work. But if everybody knew what the mysteries are that are the secret ingredient that's in the works of Frank Frazetta, the works of Dale Keown, the works of all of these great artists, then everybody would be doing it. There's a little bit of magic sometimes, and that people can't necessarily understand, you know, in terms of, I know I can't understand what, you know, the genius that is Dale Keown. But I think about this is that it's about sending a message that these people understand that their work is loved, and that something like Pit, that came out as an independent comic book through Image and then Full Bleed, that there is an audience who's never forgotten what that work means to them and is waiting to support it. That's leaving a legacy with your work. That's leaving a legacy. And I know that's what Matt Martin is doing right now with Snowman: A Cold Day in Hell. That's what Ethan's doing with Cyberfrog, with, you know, all of our help, just like I'm doing it with all of your help. And that's what I'm doing with Nosfero. It is going to be a beautiful work of art, and people will think back on it and go, wow, this is something that I remember it there, and it's a fondness for the character, and it's a fondness for, you know, when you have that spark of creativity and that ability to build an audience with your artwork, I give thanks to God for it. I cherish it. And I thank, you know, you guys for being here. You beautiful kindred spirits who support this stuff. Yeah, Dale's special creative sauce. I mean, did you guys see the godlike Dale Keown cover? Get the fuck out of here, man. Seriously. That's incredible. You know, he's doing pencils, then he's inking it, then he's hitting it with spray, you know, pencils again and spray fixing it. That is masterful. Yeah, that is masterful. There's an audience that doesn't know about it. Corporate culture filtered us into mainstream selected media. That's true. And we have to shout louder to get it out there. Ethan gets inspired by his followers. You're absolutely right. It's the same thing, man. I'm the same way. Guys, when I see you guys at all these little channel member things, thank you, Jim Cox. Jim Cox, if you're listening and you're not here, I haven't forgotten, man. Thank you for gifting 5 memberships this stream. Really, I appreciate it. When I think about people like Jim Cox, who I've seen in the chat since way back early days of Comicsgate, and this was before I had I watched YouTube before I had a channel, did not know how that whole thing worked. I was watching these streams so early. I remember when I started a channel, I was like, oh, I can now comment under a name. And oh, it's so messed up to think about how much I've learned in the last couple of years. You know what I mean? And thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, the cover looks great. Hail at Timmy Mel. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah. Mate calls it the Blob. Whatever people come up with, it'll absorb. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Yeah, there's an audience that doesn't know about corporate. Yes. And guys, look, this is the stuff that we are doing. Yeah, this is the stuff that we're doing. These covers are beautiful. There's my brother. Hail to the groomsman. Hey, Shanth, man. I was just thinking about you today. And I was thinking oh, I gotta talk some animation with this guy soon, man. I gotta talk some animation and some crowdfunding with him. Food for thought, man. But yeah, Nosfero first, but we gotta have some conversations and do some planning. I don't know how many shenanigans went on with Super Kitties, but that's the Blob. Yeah, but here's the crazy thing. Well, the police are outside. I hope they're not coming to arrest me. You never know. But this is the thing with that, which is you can't take from the source and make something stronger than the source of the creativity. And what Shane created with Starlight Cats is incredible. It's undeniable. You know, he took something that no one would have thought could have worked in this space, let alone, it was almost designed to be a mainstream idea. And, you know, I do think that quality will out and the truth will come out, and that his project is going to be a success. And I think the same thing with Inglorious Rex. Shane and Yanzi work way too hard for it to be anything else. They've overcome so much, and they've succeeded relentlessly against the odds and against adversity. How can you not respect the hell out of that? You know, how can you not respect the hell out of it, right? I mean, that's the stuff that gets me excited, man. Shane Davis, if you're out there, hail to you, brother. Fellow Shin Godzilla fanatic, much like myself. Love that. At some point, I know we always say these things. I keep saying, at some point I would love to talk to Rini about, I don't know, comics and bande dessinée and Laura Zuccari's work, which is beautiful. At some point, you know, I'd love to talk to Shane about kaiju. At some point, I'd love to talk about so many people in CG that you want to have conversations with, and we're all working on this different stuff. But I know they'll happen. I don't doubt for a second that these things are going to happen, because that's the way that it's been going. You know, we just keep doing what we do. You know, yeah, I respect them. I respect the hell out of them. You're absolutely right. Yeah, if you're not careful, the cops are going to come help you. Yeah, that's true. It's actually very, that's what I always say, man. It's like, yeah, I mean, don't even get me started on that. Yeah, I believe that. I really do. Like when listen, the local law enforcement has been there for me, and they're there for my family, so I always appreciate them. So God bless you, you know, Bristol Police Department. Much love. Let me see here. Of course not, and that's the problem because, oh, shoot. How do I click on that? God, I'm old. Of course not, and that's the problem because the blob has control of the media to create false demand. On the flip side, every so often, people fight back. It's why I care about IP. That's exactly right. And here's the thing. If you had told people, people in the Fandom Menace, people, you know, in that space, that we would be where we are right now, where you're watching certain mega corporations of entertainment fall and feel the repercussions. What is that? One of my favorite quotes of all time. And let me see if I can find it because it is important. Where is it? Let me see here. Yes. This is the ultimate white pill quote, and I remember this every single time I stream with whatever I do, guys. This is my ultimate quote, which is, whenever I despair, I remember that all through history there have been tyrants and murderers, and for a time they seem invincible. But in the end, they always fall. Always. And that is the truth. That is why we are here. That is why we are here. You know? Yeah, KS. Exactly. Yeah. That is what it is. That is what it is. And I think it's so true, is that I am watching right now a lot of people who thumbed their noses at what I was saying and what I was bringing in the academic space, and they're about ready to reap the whirlwind. That's what's going to happen. There is no way that they're going to be able to survive as they've been surviving, having basically driven out all of the people who contribute anything in that space. You're seeing this in comics, you're seeing this in academia. People are like, I'm not going to put up with this crap anymore. You can have it. And we're basically, Atlas is shrugging. We're abandoning these institutions. And Shanth Enjeti art, I can make quality here. How do I put this? When somebody who's skilled compromises with somebody who's unskilled, the only person who suffers is the skilled person, to paraphrase Ayn Rand. And I think that's really true, is that I don't need somebody art directing my stuff and making it less than what it could be, or telling me what I can and can't say to an audience or a room full of students, which is ridiculous, by the way, when you're talking about college, right? What art you're allowed to praise, what beliefs you're allowed to have. Go to hell, right? That's how they are such failures at what they do. But I'm a success. Maybe they should look to me. And that's what it comes down to. Yeah. Corporate media will fall like the Roman Empire. It's going to fall like Kmart. It's going to fall like Sears. It's going to fall like all of those places. Yeah, getting tired of this regime of politics. Yeah, because politics is, what is it? I feel like I'm going to quote Spaceballs now. Politics is dumb, you know, but now you see why evil will always win, because good is dumb. To me, I always say this. All horror movies and the horror genre isn't political, which people were saying for a while. All horror is political. No, all politics is horror. Period. But horror is not political. Rosemary's Baby is not about politics. These people need to wake up, man. They're ridiculous. Like, these people, they only want to have one conversation, right? The conversation that we're having here, right, the white pill conversation, is one of inspiration, perspiration, and dedication. That's it. That's all it is. That's all we're doing, man. And that's what it is. Yeah, it's pointless. Go out there and hug somebody. Go out there and say something kind to a stranger. Go out there and tell somebody that you appreciate the work they're doing. Look at how you shift the world. Look at how you defy the narrative, because what they need to keep their narrative in check is 100% compliance. What we need to cause doubt in their narrative and to make people question their narrative is 1 or 2% doubt. That's it. And by the way, the tide is turning and it's getting to be 40%, 50%, 60%. So why in the hell are we not going out there and doing that? You're going to tell me if you had told me that I was going to see when Comicsgate first started, and I said this to John on I think it was a couple weeks ago on time is an illusion, lunchtime doubly so, but I think it was on Post Kangs. I said to him, did you ever imagine you were going to get a Dale Keown pit cover on your creator-owned project when you started? He was like, hell no. You know what I mean? Hell no. Of course not. Of course none of us thought any of this stuff was going to be possible. But it is possible. It absolutely is possible. Yeah. Reality is more horrific than any work of fiction I've consumed. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. And reality is more beautiful than any work of fiction that I've ever consumed. You know what I mean? I can take the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in a movie, and it's not the same. It doesn't have the same impact on me as remembering when I used to put out like my pinky finger or my pinky finger and my ring finger, and my son's tiny little hand would grab that finger as we'd go for a walk because his hand was too small to hold hands with, so he'd grab onto my thumb. That memory to me is way beyond anything I've ever seen in art or in movies or in stories. There's like nothing like that. The first time I held hands with my wife, same thing. Same thing. That's what it is. Yeah. Thanks, Ford. Lunchtime doubly so. I love Ford. And that's the thing too. It's like, I just want to lay down, should we lay down and put bags over our head or something? And he goes, if you'd like. Will it help? No. It's the ultimate burying your head in the sand. For me, I say lift your neck up, stand up straight, and put your head above the crowd. Other people might get the bright idea to do the same. Because just like people at a certain point, you watch this happen in society. Let me give you something that is really important to remember. At some point, people said everybody needs to be wearing certain things on their face. And everybody started doing it. Or not everybody. Most people started doing it. Sometimes it was required, right? People do this thing. And everybody's like, on one end of the spectrum, is like, why is everybody doing this? Like, now we're trapped in this thing. But at a certain point, as more information came out, people started saying, no. Now when you go out, what do you see? What do you see? Majority of people are like, nope, I'm not doing that. I'm done. Over. You have to know how important it is to watch those kinds of things happen. You can't just learn the one lesson. You have to learn the follow-up. Wow, once we were convinced to do this, and then we were unconvinced. Do you guys get what I'm talking about? The pendulum will swing, the worm will turn. This is important. This is evidence of the white pill. This is evidence of these things. You cannot convince me more than I already am that bad things happen. To me, that's the most absurd and obvious realization a person could have. No shit. Right? Here's the thing that amazes me, though, is that against some of the worst things in history, you have people who have been lights, who have been positive, who have been good. I remember those early days in Comicsgate. I remember them so clearly. So clearly. And to sit there and be holding 2 Cyberfrog comics right now and a PVC figure, and I have to tell you guys, I love my PVC figures. But to be sitting there with all of this cool merch, I have my all caps hat in the other room, but I swear to God, Ethan, let me tell you this. I need a flex fit Comicsgate hat. Because I swear, and I don't blame Comicsgate for this. I don't blame Ethan for this. But Ethan, if you're out there listening to me, it's Shanth. I'm the guy who's done some of your intros, baby. I love you. I need you to know this. When I wear the Comicsgate hat that I have, the first one, the all caps hat, the yellow and black one, I need a flex fit cap, buddy. Because it's not your fault, it's my fault. It looks like my hat is blowing a bubble. My face has gotten so fat. There's nothing I can do about it. This barely looks okay right now. This barely looks okay. Jim Cox, I do, but I need a large XL. Yay! Jim Cox, you legend. Thank you for gifting, by the way, 5 memberships. I do too, but I need a large XL. Let me see what I've got here. Hang on a second. Yep, Jim Cox, baby. Can you see it? Oh, there it is. Large XL. This is what I need. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's a mess. It's a mess. Jeb's a mess. But yeah, it's a total mess, man. And I'm like, I need that deeper hat. Yeah, I need that deeper cap. It's gotten bad, man. There's not enough. There's not a South Asian facial spread is a real thing. I'm not kidding. Google it. It'll change your life. It's terrifying. He says not enough people want them, Jim Cox. But what if the right people want them? Come on. Come on, man. Yeah, I've asked him to make at least one design in flex fit. Yeah. Agreed. I think we need to press the issue, Jim Cox. We need to take it to him. We need to take it to him. Yeah, I gotta send him a message about that. Do you know what I'm saying? My 9 Lives hat has a great Velcro thing on the back that lets me choose whatever... Oh, Jim Cox. Hold on a second. Jim Cox, I've got an idea. And thank you for that, Stephen Rockwood. Lets me choose whatever size I want. Yeah, but here's the thing. This is a big one. So, what I did with my... And this... I just had an epiphany. What I did with my Battle Brick Road patch that I got from the great Eric Weathers, letterer on Nosfero, was I took the patch and I super glued it on to the Flex Fit hat of my choice. If Ethan would make a Comicsgate patch that could be fit onto a Flex Fit hat, or an all caps comics patch as well that could be put onto any hat of your choosing, that would be great too. Because there would definitely be demand for that. It wouldn't be that expensive, and then we could put it on the hats ourselves. We could choose the hats that we want to wear it on. What do you think, man? I use super glue because I'm a dumbass, but it's that's what I do. You know, exactly. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, things are a bit in flux. It's a shame. Different set of circumstances. Comic shops worked with CG to begin with. I think we could have really helped them. We absolutely could have helped them. Shanth, you're confessing to getting a swollen head. No, not a swollen head. A fat head. I wish it was a swollen head. Just a fat head. Why would you super glue a patch instead of sewing it on? Again, I think I answered that previously, Stephen Rockwood, because I'm as sharp as a marble. Let's see. Stitch patches are cool. I have a backpack I add them to. Very cool, Simply Green. See, there might be the demand. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, absolutely. Bring back the trucker caps. There you go. See, this is the thing, right? And I know Ethan believes this. I believe this too. It's a lot of this stuff is about giving the customers a choice. I think that's a way of killing two birds with one stone, which is you sell people patches. It's cheaper for you. And then people can put them on whatever they want to put them on. But for those of us who've got, in my case, my head is not, enormous, which is the new PC term for fat apparently, but my head is enormous adjacent. Okay? It's enormous adjacent. My face is like my shirt is blowing a bubble. What are you going to do? Yeah, bring back the trucker caps. I agree. Do you know what I'm saying? So we got to work on this, guys. Look, I'm going for walks with my wife, but I'm also she's put me on a diet. She's put me on a diet to try to make me a little healthier because you got to do this stuff, man. Yes. My head identifies as enormous, says the groomsman. You've known me for a long time, man. It's like this head swallowed the other head I used to have. It's scary. It's like an orange on a toothpick. God, I love that movie. So I Married an Axe Murderer, one of my favorite. He's going to go cray, his giant head on his wee pillow. You gotta love it, man. That's right. Enormous adjacent like my stomach. Yeah, you're absolutely... what does she have you eating? I think we're gonna try this thing called a Mediterranean diet. She just got a cookbook and it sounds good, and man, I love the Mediterranean. I don't know if it's gonna make me thinner, but I bet you I'm gonna enjoy it. It sounds delicious, man. It sounds delicious. But that's what it is. I've got people on all sides. Heed! Pants! No! You're absolutely right, Grimsman. But this is the thing about it, right? Is it that's a good one. Yeah, I've heard good thing. I've heard good things. But I really do think that the cool thing about being in this space is that you actually have people who not only love life and love people and haven't taken the black pill, but more importantly, actually try to get on each other to get healthy. Now, because we actually care how people are doing. When people are like, how's it going, guys? Are you going for walks? And it's not like, people are like, Gabe always sends out messages to Jericho and I about it. It's like, make sure you're getting on it. Make sure you're staying healthy. Our kids and our future grandkids need us, and they need us to get things done. And I mean, it's that stuff is so important because it's true, man. It's you want to be there for your spouse. You want to be there for your friends. Like, look, eventually it goes how it goes. Like, there's no avoiding it, right? But it's like you want people for as long as you could have them. I mean, I would give anything to have, one more afternoon conversation with my father-in-law. It's just the way it is, right? But at the end of the day, that's why I always tell people, got to value the people who are here. You got to have people's back and back them in that sense. But you guys know this. You're backers. You have to back people's projects while they're here, because when people are, and back people, you know, while they're here, because you don't know, like, you know, people are oftentimes just trying to put it together. I think all of you guys know this. I feel like I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. And when people buy a painting, when people, you know, do anything they can to support this or back a book, it has real consequences to this thing we call the Iron Age. Do you know what I mean? You guys are changing things. You guys are changing things, indeed. Yo, that's right. Trucker caps are blank canvases on which you can put anything on. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Phil in the chat, speaking of backing books, Aid Comics says, one backer till we break 27K on Lost Pages 3. Cranberry Langers, yo, Phil, love people while you have them because nobody is forever. You're absolutely right, Stephen Rockwood. And by the way, since we got Phil here, people wondering, I'm going to play this real quick and then I'm going to bring it back to the stream. But I want to make sure I play this because we are one backer away. So on Lost Pages 3. So here you go, Phil. This one's for you, brother.
I remember childhood without any friends. Just me and my imagination. So I made up my own friend. Crim's my best bud. I don't know what I'd do without him. But there's some things we should keep locked away. Not the imaginary friends, but the imaginary fiends. Crim, where are you?
There you go, guys. That's for my brother Phil. Do you see how we do this, guys? You know, when I'm putting together trailers for this show, when I'm putting together the end credits with everybody's names in them who are channel members, I take this show pretty seriously. And I take this channel very seriously. And I try to make sure I'm creating content for you guys as often as I can. And I'm also realizing that you guys know and you want me to be working on Nosfero. So it's always, we're walking that line, right? But the support never stops mattering. The things that you guys do, and I'm always wanting to do things like this with you guys. I'm always wanting to you know, make things happen, and that is why I start this show off with, gosh, I don't know how many minutes of trailers of other people's books. That's why if you go to the description for this channel, or this video, first you're going to see Nosfero. Please back it early and often. And then underneath that, you're going to see a list of people's stuff. That includes Terror in the Trenches. That includes, you know, gosh, every book that's still remotely active. I don't even know if Terror's still open, but I will be putting stuff out there and putting new trailers into the show. And it's based solely on what I feel like putting on the show. So again, not a democracy. But if there's something I want to put on the show, I put it in there. Because that's important. I did the same thing when I was playing Malin's trailer for the last Graveyard Shift Omega Storm project. I've done this in Shane's Inglorious Rex. I had that trailer on here for a bit as well. That's what we got to do. Yeah, always pay it forward. And putting the little things in there. We want to make this stuff look professional. And going back to what I was saying about Jericho and what he does, when I did for those of you guys who don't know, and yeah, KSS, you're right, is that what I do whenever I'm trying to do stuff like this is, let me see if I can include this on here. I'll have to delete it afterwards because otherwise it'll be floating in the center of the screen, but let's see if I can find it here. Is this it? Huh. Oh no, here it is. So, shoot. Where is it? Dang, I don't even know where it is on the screen. This could be a problem, guys. This could be a problem. Where the heck is it? Is it behind here? Nope. Nope. Let me see here. It's not that. Okay, I gotta close that out. There was two of me for a minute, which is nobody's idea of a good time. But let me see if I can do overlay. Let's do, oh, actually, I know where it is. Hold on a second here. Window, show overlay window. Let me see if I can do this. And then I want to do is that a video? Not a countdown overlay. New screen overlay, new camera overlay. New image overlay. Yeah, I don't know if I have the stuff I need to do it, but I did a brand new video for him. Shanth, have you added sketches yet as a tier? Might take less time, be low cost, higher return. I've got a bunch of like sketches and books and things like that, but right now I've got a couple of commissions waiting in the wings, so we're gonna see where they go. But I want to see if I can make this happen here. So if I do, how does this work? Choose a file. This should work. Super chat or for Jerry. Nope, it's not showing up. It's like it's directly behind it. So let me... Oh, I know where it is. I'm an idiot. Hang on a second here. Overlays. Nope, I got a Command Z on that. Hold on. Command Z on that. I love how it's like... how it's messing with me. Let me do a new image overlay. I got to figure this out later, guys. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so but anyway, I did a video for him. Oh, hey, Phantasmagorical, it's great to see you. Hey to you, and yes, happy birthday, KSSS. But I did a super chat sort of video for him. But I've been thinking about doing, and welcome. I've been thinking about how when I do these trailers at the start of the show, I try to do a little special cut of them. So with when you see Phil's trailer, you can sort of see how I just would do a little bit of an edit here and there, so it works as a pre-show trailer. And I did that with the RAZÖRFIST trailer. I even put the this is a book, because it didn't say that on the trailer, so some people weren't sure what it was, with a link to his website. So I'm going to be doing much more of that stuff going forward. I'm going to be doing, and there's a couple of trailers. I want to have a trailer for RAZÖRFIST's anthology, which is launched, and I didn't even know about it, which is crazy. How do you not know about that? It's like it should be everywhere, and I want to be promoting it, man. I mean, that thing should be way higher than it is right now. Way higher, for sure. In your opinion, what's the best version of the Hunchback of Notre Dame? Holy cow, KSSS. I can tell you that, though, too, because I was just thinking about that. It is... And I know the version, I just can't, like, I'm blanking. Shoot, where the heck is it? Dang it. Charles Laughton. Yes, it's the Charles Laughton version. That is my favorite version of Hunchback of Notre Dame. Nobody comes close to that performance. It was such an influence for the Disney version. It's brilliant. Thank you for asking me that question. I was watching, there's a gentleman who is trying to use AI to put it into color, and it's a pretty solid job. It's not great, but or it's not perfect, I should say. It is pretty great. I couldn't do it. And the thing I love about it is that it only highlights what a masterpiece that film is. That is a masterwork of a film. And anyone who hasn't seen it, please check it out. It is so great. Yes, indeed. Everybody's saying hello, hello. Yes, oh, you remember, thanks. Remember, yes. Hey, CL, yes, absolutely. Cranberry Langus. Happy birthday, Amanda B. There's probably enough trailers floating around for a mega mix. You're absolutely right. Just the trailers that I've done for Ethan, just the intros, I mean, that's got to be like 15 to 20 minutes of stuff I've done for him. Like every remix, everything like that. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, that's cool. Yes, indeed. Everybody's saying hello, hello. Hey, yeah. Phone battery is about to die, so if I don't catch you guys on the other end, I'll catch you guys on the next stream. Bow to you, Timmy Mello, and I'm about to wrap up right now anyway, so it's great to see you, my friend. Cut the trailers right down to 30 to 40 seconds, queue up 5 or 6 of them with a single backing track. You're absolutely right. Yeah, all of this stuff is great, and we've always got the opportunity to do it. Yes, KSSS, I shall never forget. Forever the elephant that remembers. KSSS, happy birthday to you. That's right. Ciao to me, Mello, Amanda B, much love. Charles Laughton's version is my favorite too. It holds up, a beautifully filmed movie, and the backgrounds in that and the wide shots are to die for. I like seeing the potential arising from more stuff being around. You're absolutely right. Love to Fanta. Your trailers are so good. Thank you, Cranberry Langers. All right, folks. So I'm going to close this out right now. We did all right today. We did about an hour and 40 minutes, and that's not bad. Thank you guys for being here. I hope we brought some positivity into your day, because we got a couple more days left in the quote work week, although I know some of you guys work 7 days or work odd, days or weekends and everything like that, and I appreciate that. But I hope this has been some inspiration for you guys. I hope you're feeling positive. I hope you're feeling inspired to go out there and say hello to somebody Tell somebody you hope they have a great day. Tell somebody you appreciate the work that they do for you. Put that stuff out there into the universe. It has a bigger impact than you could possibly know. Go out there and say, this is the work I want to see people doing. These are the creators who respect me, and back that stuff and make it happen. Because that's why this stuff is possible. You guys have essentially given me the strength, and with your support, to will Nosfero into existence. I couldn't do it without you guys. I am humbled the closer and closer I get to that deadline, to the finish line. What more can I say than that? Is that seeing 33 paintings plus some extra cool stuff and all the sketches, freaking awesome. You guys rock. Thank you, groomsmen. You know, keep it parallel to the deck, my friend. That's how we do it. Yeah, everyone have a great day, says Stephen Rockwood. Everybody's saying hello, hello, hello. Good day, Shanth. Ciao, guys. Have a good day. God bless indeed, my friends. All right, guys. I'm going to play the credits. Hopefully the channel member credits have been updated. And for all of you guys, including Jim Cox, who became members today, I will have you in the credits for the next show. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Again, I feel very fortunate to be here. As always, peace, because that is what my name means. And stay gold, you beautiful people. Take care.